Hey y'all, welcome back. This is your girl, Miss Jelisha J, and this is my channel, Black Woman Fly. I've created this space for Black women to be able to tell their stories, to be able to see themselves in other women's stories, for them to be able to come together to heal, to transform, to celebrate, to find their own joy, and to live authentically. And I do this by also sharing my stories and my experiences. I am a published author. My last ebook is available on Amazon. It's called Fuck Shame Embrace Love, and it is a guide to healing from heartbreak and welcoming in your authentic life. And I wrote that after coming out of a really, really heartbreaking situation with someone that I really loved, and how I released shame and forgave that person and forgave myself and came into a new journey of love for them, for everyone, and for life itself. So please check that out. I'll put the link in the description box. But by the title, let's just get into it. This is an impromptu talk. I really want to dive into why I feel that the state of music is really, really in a bad place and why we are in a space where music is being used to oppress Black women, especially hip hop and rap and R&B. And it's always been in a space where there's been a lot of misogyny, there's been a lot of hate towards Black women. This has been since I was a kid. I'm about to be 36 in about a week, but it has reached new levels, and I want to talk about it because there's levels to things. There's levels to things. So we're going to dive right into it. Okay. And this may not be for everybody because I'm going to not care about respectability politics. I'm not going to care that people should be able to show they kudu whack everywhere. I'm not going to care what you think. So if that's not for you, then you can just keep scrolling. This ain't for you. Okay. So there's two layers that I want to talk about when it comes to music and how it affects Black women. First, there is the frequency and vibration of music. And when I say that, I'm coming from a spiritual perspective because music is a vibration. Music emits a certain frequency, and it reaches us not just on this physical level, like, oh, that sounds good, or I like the way that beat is. It reaches you spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And so the frequency of the music, whatever it's transmitting, it gets into your spirit. It reaches you on a soul level, and it gets into the psyche and the mind, the subconscious mind. So whatever you're repeating consistently into your subconscious mind, that's what you start feeling, that's what you absorb, that's what you believe about yourself. And I'll use myself as an example. Anytime that I felt like heartbreak, I think any woman does this, but when I felt heartbreak, I gotta listen to some sad music. I gotta listen to my Mary J. Blige, What's the 401, or not What's the 401, My Life. I have to listen to Tink. Tink always get you there. When I was going through my other woman phase, when I was a side chick in my past life, SZA's Control album in 2017, that was everything for me. That was absolutely everything. But and it was necessary for me, but it was transmitting this certain frequency of pain, of heartache. And so I connected with it because I was already in pain. I was already hurting. And so for me, I'm a very emotional person. I feel things. I really, really tap into music. I really love music. I think music is healing, or it can also hurt you even more. And when you're going through pain and you're listening to something on a consistent basis that is pain, then you are deep into that vibration. You're deep into the vibration of shame, anger, sadness, hurt. And so it's not really we're not transmuting that pain. We're staying stuck in the pain. And when I say transmute, I mean that we're not taking whatever pain that we're going through, whatever feeling, whatever emotion, and deciding to transmute that for our greater good, using that emotion and putting it forth somewhere else so we don't stay stuck in it. Instead, if you keep listening to the same type of music, you're going to be in that vibration. So when I was going through my pain cycle and I was hurting, SZA was on repeat, Tink was on repeat, Mary J. Blige was on repeat, and I was sad every day. I was sad every day. I was taking multiple baths, long with candles, just crying in my feelings. And it's just, I kept having memories. And of course, you're going to grieve relationships or disappointments, but I could not move past it. I just could not, because all day long that's what I wanted to listen to. And every song reminded me of a certain situation with this person, certain experience with this person. And so that's what music does. It's not just, oh, that sounds good. It gets into your psyche. It gets into the way of your consciousness, the way you think and the way you feel, the way you react to things. It feeds into your system. So can you imagine if that's the depthness of music? What's it doing to us when we are listening to music that degrades us, that calls us bitches, that says that we ain't shit, that perpetrates music that wants to have us falter? And this is really black music. I'm talking about male hip hop. Male hip hop is a problem. It has always been built in misogyny, and actually, hip hop was not built in misogyny, but in a way, it was, because they really didn't want to welcome in black women into the space of hip hop. It really was a male dominated space, and they started rap battling, to from what I understood, based off of, and I can't think of her name, but it was based off a woman, and they were trying to, pretty much brag about, sleeping around on her, like passing her through the group of the fans, or their group of men. So hip hop rap has always been misogyny towards men. I mean, towards women. And there's only been a few that have spoke positively of women. Tupac, originally when he first came out, Tupac, Keep Your Head Up, Dear Mama, he was always a light. He was always a light. You have Common, you have, really on the neo soul type of rap or conscious rap, you have those who were giving light to women. Recently, Kendrick Lamar put out a song, it's untitled, on his Instagram, where he's pretty much saying black women ain't got a lot to work with these men these days, and we don't. But you don't have male figures in the hip hop industry that is praising black women. Or you have like Jay-Z, who had came to some type of realization in 444 after doing all the stuff he's done and saying all the things that he said in his raps about women, where he's realizing he was an F up. Which, when a man can hold accountability for himself, that's amazing in rap. That's amazing to hear a black man have accountability for himself. But unfortunately, they don't promote that. So that's another part. I'll get to that in a minute. But there's so much black misogyny in hip hop. Okay, that's one. That's one part of it. So when you hear the vibration of black men always disrespecting you, always thinking that you are less than, always thinking that you are easy, always thinking that you ain't, always thinking that you are not worthy, then that's what's also feeding to the culture, right? That's what's feeding to black men. And black men are hearing these things and they're agreeing with it, and they're thinking, yeah, that's what makes a real man, to disrespect a woman. That's what makes a real man to clown on a woman. That's what makes a real man to decide what a woman's worth is by her body count. That's what makes a real man to decide. Like, these are thoughts that come into the psyche of young men, of grown men, because that's what they're listening to, that's what they're absorbing, that's what's in society, that's what's in their peers, their family, that's what's being told to them. So if you're hearing that, if they're hearing that, then that's how they treat women. And if that's how they're treating women and we hear it, we're like, okay, yeah, okay. And then you have, on the other side of things, for women hip hop, here we go, let me just, okay. For women hip hop, I have a problem with this, because I'm a fan of Cardi B. I'm a fan of Megan Thee Stallion. I'm an old fan of Trina. Okay? Old fan of Trina. I'm an old fan of... I love to see women hip hop. I love to see women flourish. I love to see women do them. But there is no balance. And so when you also... Are we talking about the vibration, the frequency of music? When women are always talking about the power of their pussy, what they can do for men, how they trick men, how they pussy can do magic, how they pussy is better than the next woman, how they got more money than the next woman, how the next woman is a bitch, how they gonna fight the next woman, how they will cut the next woman with some dick. The message, the frequency, right? So anytime you're angry, anytime you're upset, this is what you run to. And it validates that emotion. It validates that feeling. So what we're really trying to put out into the youth, or put out into the world, is that black women we're toxic. Black women, we fight men over dick. Fight women over dick. We fight women. We women are our competition. Black women just are sexually free, and that's I want to tie into that right there about sex, because there's a difference between sexual liberation and sexual immaturity. And what I feel is going on in female hip hop is sexual immaturity. Sexual liberation does not mean I sleep with everybody, that my pussy is powerful, because let me tell you, I used to go by my pussy is powerful. My coochie powerful. I can get any man with my coochie. My coocie's amazing. That's nothing to brag on. That's nothing to be proud about. That's nothing to no, that doesn't mean you're going to keep a man. That doesn't mean that you're going to be of value to anyone. Sexual liberation means that you are able to have some type of control, power over you, over your choice. It's your choice of what you choose to do with your body. But it also means that you make wise decisions with your body. You are conscious of how you're putting yourself out there. And I'm not saying you need to be a virgin. Listen to me. Listen to me. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we have to be conscious of how we treat our body. If we're saying that we are leading with the power of our vaginas, that means we really are not leading in our power. The power comes from discernment. The power comes from your intuition. The power comes from what's in between here. Now, this is powerful as well because it's a portal. That means you create life here. That means you give birth here. That means your passion comes from here. Your creativity comes from here. It's a portal. But it's important that you are treating that portal well, because this is a spiritual thing. When anything comes up in you, it's spiritual. So when you're saying I'm sexually free, I'm just doing me, you can do whatever you want to, but I promise you that you ain't as free as you think you are. Because if you are out here not caring about the wellness of your womb, not caring about the wellness of how you treat yourself, or how you're laying with someone else, or how you're allowing someone else to treat you, then something's not well. Not just physically, but spiritually, mentally, emotionally. And that translates into the music. And we think it's powerful, but really what we're telling other women is that if you lead by this, you'll get this. But see, a lot of us have led by that and have still been left astray. A lot of us have led by that and still been hurt. A lot of us have led by that and have gotten diseases. A lot of us have been led by that and have gotten 3, 4, 5, 6 kids and no ring. A lot of us have led with that and been in such horrible situations, toxic situations. The vibration of music, the frequency of music, what we're saying, when we're hearing other people talk about this way of living, if we feel validated, if they're saying that this is how you're supposed to live, when really a lot of these artists are not living the lives that they say they are living on these songs. They are not living those lives. They're not. But they're doing it because they have to push a purpose. And that goes into my other point I want to lead into, because there's two layers. There's the layer with the frequency and the vibration, and then there's the layer that the industry is pushing. They are pushing what's popular. Right now, what has been popular was over sexualization of women. If a black woman has to be seen rapping, she needs to be very sexual. And I think a woman can be sexual. I think you could be in your power sexually, but you are doing a disservice and a dishonesty to yourself and to those around you when you are not truly informing the truth of what happens when you are this open and free. Because you could be powerful in your sexuality, in your sensuality, but you don't have you could be powerful in it, and it don't even have to be like overt. Like, it doesn't have to be so much. It doesn't have to be so obvious. To those that are loud with their sexuality, and when I say loud, oh, look at my pussy, look, I got the to those who are overly loud with their sexuality, normally is tied to some type of pain, some type of wound, some type of there's a need there that has to be fulfilled. It is not tied to confidence. It is not tied to divine femininity. Now there's a dark feminine side and there's a light feminine side. But when you work within your dark femininity, you are working within your power. So you are using that, your sensuality, your sexuality, to empower yourself. But you cannot empower yourself if that's all you lead with. I hope that catches you. You cannot empower yourself if that's all you lead with, because you are leading blindly. This can only get you so far. So with the music that's being put out, they're purposely putting out music, and they've always done this to dumb us down, to have us distracted, to have us talking about ourselves in horrible ways, to have us talking about our peers, our friends, our community in horrible ways, to have us now in a place where we are so sexually immature that we are talking about STDs openly, talking about having raw sex openly, talking about just being openly just loose. And I don't ever want to be that type of person like, oh, y'all doing too much, because I'm older now. But I'm looking at this and I'm like, we are being highly irresponsible. And the thing is, it's not the artists that are doing these things. It's the industry that's pushing it. It's the industry that's saying, be the guinea pig. This is what I want you to say. This is what I want you to do. This is how I want you to look. And us as consumers are eating it up. But it hurts Black women. It hurts Black women because we're not empowering ourselves. We're actually hurting ourselves in the long run. We actually are putting ourselves in situations that can cause severe harm to our mental, physical, spiritual, emotional self. Now, I'm not saying that women should never listen to overly sexual music, or music that is degrading to Black women, or music that is degrading to uh, just degrading to the culture. But there needs to be a balance. There needs to be duality. With anything that there's light, there's dark. Right now, there's too much dark. There's not enough light. There has to be balance, and there's no balance within the music industry. And so when there's no balance and that's all we being fed, as grown women, it hurts. But then you also got to think, as for children, this is hurting them too. I remember the days when it used to be fun to go sneak and listen to Trina. Like, oh my God, she just said, look back at it. Like, girl, like that used to be fun. Like, ooh, but there was balance, because then you went back and the next day you're listening to Outkast, or you're listening to Missy Elliott, or you're listening to Sierra, you're dancing to Beyonce. You know, there was a balance. There was some type of balance. Right now, there is no balance. And if you look at the music industry in itself, rap music isn't selling anymore. Women rap music isn't selling at all. To me, that is almost a reflection of the change that we're undergoing that maybe other people haven't noticed yet. I think the culture in itself, we're desiring more, because the state of the world, the economy, Black people, we in a space. A lot of Black people are tired of going through the same thing with men, of being disappointed, being hurt, of wanting to have more and don't. They are wanting more realness. And when you don't have that, when all you are being fed are just materialistic things, I got this much money, I got that, I use my pussy for this, I got this, I had sex with him, I beat her ass, I beat that ass. When that's all you being fed and you got real stuff going on in your life, you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear it. So I think it's a reflection what's going on in the industry with people not engaging as much. It's because people are wanting more. People are desiring more realness. They are. We're craving that. And so as a black woman, one from one Black woman to the next, fill your psyche up with good things. There has to be balance. Fill your psyche up with things that affirm you as a powerful woman, as a wonderful woman, as an intelligent woman, as a beacon of light. I listen to Cleo Soul. I listen to Sade. I listen to Baby Ruth, Baby Love, I think that's her name. I have a whole mix of different people that I listen to. It just depends on my mood. Okay. I listen to Kendrick Lamar. I love Kendrick Lamar. I listen to Andre 3000, him playing the flute. And then I might go and listen to Megan Thee Stallion a little bit. And then I might go listen to Cardi B. Actually, no, because I don't really like her music that much no more. But I'll listen to certain things. There has to be duality. I have to affirm myself. I have to calm my energy. I have to protect my energy. I have to protect my peace. Make a playlist of music that makes you feel good. And one way you can tell if something really is not for you is, how are you feeling? Like, do you always feel low after you hear this song? Do you feel angry? Do you feel sad? Do you feel down after you hear it? Does it put you in a space of just not at ease? That maybe not be right for your spirit. There should be music that gives us a sense of elevation, a sense of intent, a sense of love, a sense of joy, a sense of ease. And because the industry is pushing out certain things to us, we have to find it. We have to go search for it. But be mindful what you're putting into your spirit. Be mindful what you're listening to, because at the end of the day, the industry, the entertainment, they're going by their bottom line. The bottom line is $1. And what feeds the system, what feeds their bottom line is drama, pain, and trauma. And they feed us trauma porn. That's what they do to the Black community. They feed us the darkest parts of ourselves, the darkest parts of our community, and they feed that out into the music, the art, what they put out into the world. And they use Black artists, Black entertainers to feed those messages. And really, these are not true artists, because true artists do not conform to what the masses want. True artists walk their own paths, and they are the ones that people want to follow, but they can't. People want to emulate, but they can't. So the industry has their own little guinea pigs that feed this out to the masses, who are doing a disservice not only to the masses but to themselves, because they're not living within their truth. And I'll leave with this. There's this song by Lotto, the rapper Lotto, called Brokey. And I saw this video on TikTok where one of the women was like, y'all don't even be realizing what y'all saying. She's sitting here with the state of the economy, how the economy is, and calling y'all broke and saying y'all can't even pay to take a vacation. And y'all are thinking this is really something. Y'all doing dances and talking about it, but y'all not hearing the lyrics of what this woman is saying to y'all. And I saw the Lotto went and said, I was so upset that people are saying that, I'm calling people brokey, so I'm doing this 10,000K challenge, to anyone who wants to show off their work. And I'm like, we need more voices like that. More voices that are calling out the hypocrisy. Because if you really read these lyrics, this is what you call conscious listening. If you really read these lyrics of what these women and what these men are saying, they are feeding you nonsense. They are looking at you and saying, haha, you broke. Haha, you ain't got shit. Haha, I'm the one with the car. I'm the one with the money. I'm the one that's doing this. I'm the one that's doing that. And they're not feeding you nothing. They're not feeding your spirit. They're not uplifting you. They're not encouraging you. They're not empowering you. They're not giving you any seeds that can be fruitful in your spirit. And instead, they're feeding off of drama, pain, and trauma. And they're using that money to do whatever they want to with it. Even if, I don't even think they're making a lot of money. They live in a lie. All this stuff is facade. All of it. Because I'm going to let you know something. Confidence is silent. And if anybody is showing you all their money, all the materialistic things that they got, I got this, look at me with this, they really don't have that. Or if they do got this insecurity, and they got to make sure you see it. Okay? So pay attention to these lyrics, because these artists were telling themselves they are not trying to help y'all. They are making fun of y'all. They are wanting y'all to hate each other, and they are wanting y'all to stay stuck. And it is oppressing Black women. It is oppression. And it's really sad when you have other Black women that are forging this, other Black women who are telling us that we ain't shit in their lyrics. Okay? That's all I got to say. I had to put that out there. Please let me know in the comments what music that you listen to. Are you tired of what's going on in the music industry? Are you tired of the state of the rap game? Are you tired of what you're hearing? Are you desiring more? And what do you feed your spirit with? How do you cleanse your spirit? What ways do you do that? Let me know in the comments, okay? Because we got to have a community where there is a space where we're really honest with each other, because times out here is different, and we really need authenticity. That's how we're going to survive. So peace and love. I see you guys soon.